Not long ago, a booming economy had many cities and states awash in money. When the boom evaporated, so did the surpluses. And now, as John Blackstone reports in tonight's Eye on America, governments are facing a new budget-busting expense no one saw coming.
With the war on terrorism moving to a higher alert, the front line can be anywhere. But guarding so many potential targets is expensive. From nuclear power plants to the Golden Gate Bridge, police officers are now on duty around the clock, and overtime costs are soaring. The state of California is spending an extra $1 million a day for security, much of it on highway patrol overtime.
Freedom isn't free, and the price we have to pay to protect our freedoms and our way of life are very high.
As in almost everything since September 11th, New York has had a particular burden. New York State has asked the federal government for $100 million to pay for new security measures. But no place, it seems, can avoid spending to prepare for the worst.
Given the current trends, we will easily exhaust the $2.6 billion reserve that was in the 01-02 budget.
The state of Maryland needs to find $20 million for new security, so it's severely cutting other spending.
What we'll do is no new hires, 1.5% reduction, and a deferral of some construction contracts.
The small airport in Santa Fe, New Mexico handles only a dozen commercial flights a day, but its security costs have risen by $1,000 a day. Upgrading security for water systems will cost the nation $150 million. And in San Francisco, there's a new expense for every ship passing through the Golden Gate. To protect the bridges and the bay, the Coast Guard has called up the reserves, creating a new armed security force, the Sea Marshals. 12 miles outside the Golden Gate, armed Coast Guard officers board freighters, tankers, and cruise ships. They're among 2,700 reservists called to active duty, costing the Coast Guard almost $1 million a day.
The bottom line is to prevent the ship itself from becoming a weapon of mass destruction, if you will.
In Salt Lake City, the security budget for the Winter Olympics has risen to $300 million. In all, American cities will spend $1.5 billion over the next year for protection against terrorism, a new expense for government at every level.
When people really want government is in an emergency, which is what we have now. We're in a state of war.
Well, all the extra security comes with a price tag. These days, no one is questioning the value. In San Francisco, John Blackstone.